Welcome back to the channel, everybody. My name is James Viola, and today I'm going to show you how I turned my buddy Matt's yellow plastic skeleton into this fun little diorama, using mostly stuff I already had and just laying around the house. So yeah, let's dive in and get started. As I give this guy a little bath, I want to give Matt a huge thank you for sending him over, but for also all your help with my videos so far, man. Your critiques have been really helpful. I hope this guy brings you a lot of joy. So here I am setting up the backdrop. I'm cutting this out of a foam core board and sort of just eyeballing the top here. I wanted the top to mimic a gravestone a little bit, but to also not have that literal interpretation. It's really just how it felt. And I lined it up and measured it out so it was exactly the size of this box that I had. It was a box from an old Magic the Gathering bundle. I have lots of these, so I'm probably going to be making a lot more dioramas very similar to this because the process was very straightforward. I enjoyed it a lot. Here I am. I had some sticks that had been laying in a box for a long time, as well as that gate from another Games Workshop box called Corpse Rack Mausoleum. I then next took some Vallejo earth texture acrylic paint and I smeared that all across the top. I like this process. It's like icing a cake. Just jump ahead here. I wanted to show how smooth I got it. It really does look like icing on top of a cake. I then next applied the tree. I didn't really do anything to this other than stick it in with some thick application of the mud. In past applications of different things, I've found that this mud dries really sturdy and pretty much anything you stick in there will stay stuck. So I didn't go crazy with the glue or drilling holes or pinning it in place or anything. You will see me add some Elmer's glue to the little twig-like branches against the backboard, but that was really the only additional support that it needed. Next I took some of this brown cork board that I had, and this is great for just building up textures. I love to use it for rocks. And you'll see me cover it here with like a sprinkling of this earth mixture I have. After I'm done with this and everything is secured, here you see me using Elmer glue to secure the tree to the back. I'm actually going to take it outside and spray paint it with a dark gray from Vallejo. Here's an up close look at it. I guess at some point I added a mossy texture, but I don't have that on video, so sorry about that. I then broke out this Diablo concept art book that I have. I absolutely love. I love looking through it for inspiration for various projects, but in this instance I was looking for something like this where I could maybe replicate a gradient texture for the background of the entire diorama. So in hindsight I really should have done this before I applied it to the box, but you know, you live and you learn. So I kind of had to work around that tree, got in the way, got a little spray paint on it. I darkened it all up when I started the painting process, which is what you see right here. So as I'm going through here, I'm really just looking to bring out some more color into the whole piece, but create some unifying color as well. So using the same browns across the tree and across the mud. And then using, I believe this is a lot of oak brown from Army Painter to sort of build up the textures on the ground and then on the skeleton. And then I actually build up from oak brown to skeleton bone, both Army Painter paints. See me getting in here nice and close with my beard. I really enjoy this process, but the armor and the metal gave me a bit of trouble. I must have tried at least 4 different approaches to the non-metallic metal look. I didn't want it to be amazing or anything. I just wanted to sell the idea. So I went back and forth with this at least 6 times, I think, trying different applications, but keeping the paint very thin every time. So the final application does still look pretty good. It doesn't look too thick or anything, so I'm happy about that. And I did finally settle on a look that felt good, like appropriate for the kind of quirkiness of the model, with these big thick white outlines and big deep scratches. So you'll see here in a second in one of the next shots, it actually almost looks like it's a pattern texture to the non-metallic metal, and that was not the final look, which you can see in the final shots of the diorama. You can kind of see me picking out a couple of the pieces. Oh, look at that overexposure. All right. Here's the leaves that I end up laying down. So what I'm going to do next is cover the base in a very watered down PVA glue solution. It's just Elmer's glue with a little bit of water that I had in a spray bottle that I converted into a dropper tool. I like the dropper better than the spray. I don't use any isopropyl alcohol. I've heard that it helps spread the glue around better. I just don't have any right now, so maybe it's something to put on my hobby buy list for next time I'm out, or next time I'm searching through Amazon. Here's that texture on the sword. It's probably the 4th version at this point that I recorded. And yeah, you see me spreading the orange and red, and then I noticed that the glue was making an absolute mess because the texture on top was really repelling the watered down substance a lot. So it just shows you how water resistant that Vallejo dries as well, which is pretty cool. It's almost actually got a rubbery texture, which is worth noting. The next thing I think that the last thing I decided I was going to do is create a little signpost, and I figured I would be appropriate to put a little signpost to the town of Tristram, which was very much the inspiration for this model to begin with. So here's the little Tristram I drew with my Micron pen. I tried to make it feel a little gothic. And then I took the rest of the popsicle stick and broke it up into smaller and smaller pieces, and that ended up being the post for the signpost. Yeah, maybe there. Maybe not. Pew! So yeah, the last thing to do for this guy was to weather it a bit with some Agrax Earthshade, and that didn't take very long at all. I applied a few coats, and I ended up actually putting some leaves on top of it after it dried, and I got it stuck in there. Unfortunately, there's a few things that I didn't get captured on video due to some time restraints, but here's a quick look at where everything ended up before we get into the glamour shots. You can see that I added some birds in the distance, made a few changes to the fence with some highlights, and I finished the look of the armor and weapon with a nice bold non-metallic metal look. It looks more worn and scratched up. And here we are with the final shots. I'm really happy with how it turned out overall, and I'm looking forward to getting to my next project, which it's probably going to take me longer than this one because it's a big one. Thank you for watching, everyone, and I'll see you in my next video.